government swears you're doing business in here.
I'm not here or anywhere else, and you couldn't catch me if I was. Try the sandbags. Well, what do you think? What do you think's going on here,
Well,
Nick?
maybe there's something you don't want me to know about.
How are we treating you this evening, Mr. McCusey?
What is it, Nick? You need some chapstick or something? Because your lips keep getting stuck on your teeth. Or is that your idea of a smile?
Let's not discuss my business or his business or your business, okay?
But that leaves us with nothing to talk about.
Well, your friend is not going to get away with what he's gotten away with for 15 years.
My phones have funny little noises on them. You're setting me up, Nick. So if I asked you out, maybe you'd accept.
Dating is not a criminal activity, Mr. McCusick. I think your profession has clouded your judgment here.
I probably have to bust my friend if I'm gonna do my job. And I hate that.
You're a bad boy, Nick. You're a very bad boy. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Just looking at you hurts more.
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time! You lied to me. You wouldn't shoot me over money.
Oh, that's a lot of money. What's it gonna be, Nick?
Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, Tequila Sunrise, Raul Julia, written and directed by Robert Towne.
Hello. I'm Katie, and welcome to Retromade, your pop culture rewind. Today is a very special episode for a couple of reasons. One, we're completing our exploration of the best of Patrick Swayze and Kurt Russell's 80s and 90s movies for season 1, The Ultimate Everyman. And I have third-time repeating guest with me, Ryan Rebalkin, because he started the show with me with the first episode. He came back about midway through, and I'm very grateful that he has agreed to join me to bookend the season and finish it up with me. Ryan, thanks for joining me for the final episode of season 1.
Yeah, this is it, eh? I was actually thinking when is this going to end? Because there's just so many films still. There's more films you can cover. You said the best of, so this is...
There will be a bonus episode where I wrap it up with a bow about our Everyman and what we covered, kind of by the numbers, but there's 40 movies.
Yeah.
This is the 40th movie. We did a couple of bonuses in there.
Right.
But the criteria essentially was that they had to be one of the mains in the
Sure.
movie from the 80s or 90s. So
That's fair.
not any of their more modern work.
I guess that is... Yeah, that's a lot of films. Let's say 20 each or whatever it is. It's been fun. I've listened to every episode. I don't just say that. As you know, I listen to every episode. I always enjoy it. I just want to give a shout out to Moody and Gru. They were on one of the later or last episodes I've listened to at the time of this
Used
recording.
Cars.
That's right. Used Cars, a movie I haven't seen yet. So I know you listened to one of my other podcasts, the Ed Zwick podcast, called Zwick's Flicks, the Ed Zwick podcast. There's going to be a plug in that. So check it out, where you've been a guest co-host on that for 3 episodes. But I know you listen to that show too, and you'll listen to episodes even if you haven't seen the movie, for example. So I do the same for you. Used Cars is one I definitely want to see, but I just want to give a shout out to Moody and Gru, who are guest hosts on that.
They were great guests.
Are you going on their show? Have you done that one yet?
Oh, well, funnily enough, Ryan, and it ties into our movie today. I will say just at the top, the movie that we're going to cover today, we're going to go back to December of 1988 to cover Tequila Sunrise. And one of the stars, probably like the 4th build, is Raul Julia.
Yes, that's right.
And the reason I bring that up is because literally later today, I'm guesting on the Van Dammit podcast covering Street Fighter with Raul Julia. I just thought that was
I think his last film. believe it or not.
happenstance. It was his last theatrical appearance.
And not to spoil your talking points on that, I'm sure they'll bring it up, but I think he did it for his children. I think he did that film so his kids could watch Daddy be in the fun film.
They were fans of the video game.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So everybody check out that. It'll probably be coming out about the same time this episode does. All right. Well, we'll talk more about some of your other projects. You mentioned Ed Zwick, which is a very good show. It's a quality show. I love how you do it, Ryan.
Thank you.
And he's he might not be a household name from a director's, he's not a Scorsese, but I think you all might be surprised at some of the films that he has done. So it's a fun look back at Ed Zwick films. I highly recommend y'all check out Ryan's Ed Zwick podcast, Zwick's Flicks. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is a mouthful. Thank you for that. And I do another show that I'll just plug this one other one that's a kind of a passion project as well. It's called The Worst of the Best Podcast, which you've actually guest co-hosted on, I think at least once, if not more than once. I know you did a Friends episode with me, but okay. So basically, long story short, with this podcast, it's a variety of different topics. It can be anything from actors, music, actresses, of course, movies, but it's like the best of something. And it's a top 10 list. It could be even conspiracy theory. So it's the top 10 things that make that conspiracy theory believable or not, whatever the topic might be. We try to keep it fun and light. And we will then, my brother and I, at the end of the episode, will just pick what we think is the worst of that best. Whatever the worst song on a favorite album is, the worst film from a top grossing actor, so what is their worst top grossing film that we think is the worst? It's all subjective. That's right. There's no real science to this. It's just whatever we feel is the worst for whatever reason. At the time of this recording, will be released the top 10 or 15 Google searches of 2024.
Oh, you do that every year, right?
Yeah, we do that every year. That's our yearly wrap up. And I think if you can believe it, this is our 9th annual celebrity death episode coming up.
You've been doing this for 9 years.
I know. Every time I think it's too much, I go back and check. I'm like, yeah, this is the 8th or 9th. I think it's the 9th annual celebrity death. It's our favorite time of the year where we get to celebrate the deaths. I mean, the lives of our favorite celebrities. And we think, well, Ryan, how can you pick the worst? What we do is we decide which one is maybe the worst personality. Is that where we're kind of like, I'm not really sad that you're dead. And that happens, for example. We've had some like different leaders of the world who have
like
passed
dictators
on,
and stuff.
Dictators. Yeah, we're not too sad that that person died. And then, or the one that affected us the worst. So the one that really stung. So the one that hurt the most. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. How do you go about choosing, aside from your annual ones, do you have a running brainstorm spreadsheet or something?
Yeah, that's a great question. So often it will stem from just the music ones are obvious because there'll be albums or bands that my co-host or guest co-host, my brother and I enjoy. So it's easy. Those are easy to do. They're ironically the most work to get through because they just seem to take the longest to record, but they're easy to talk about. For top 10 stuff, I'll sometimes just curate Google and just say top 10 scary movies or top 10. It was something like that. I'll just have to think of ideas of just sometimes a X video will trigger an idea, things like that. So that's kind of how it works. Yeah.
Check it out, guys. And hey, if you like Rocky, Ryan and I get together every other week with our other co-host, Kyle, to talk about the Rocky movies. And, you might be wondering, if you're not already listening to the show, how much is there really to talk about? But everyone asks me that, Ryan, when they find out I do a show about the Rocky podcast. I'm like, well, you'd be surprised. So each season, you guys, season 1 was the original Rocky. Season 2, Rocky 2. So we are on season 5, aka Rocky 5. And there are, 20 episodes a season, maybe.
About that, yeah, give or take. Yeah, I have the tendency to talk too much, as people are probably wondering or seeing now. They're like, oh boy, this guy talks. So the episodes we go through the films in order. It's been a lot of fun. I didn't want to plug that one necessarily because I think you've plugged it. And I didn't want to seem like I'm some sort of like podcasting because I'm really not anything. But that's a fun one to do with you. You were gracious enough I invited you to be a guest co-host when my other brother did that with me originally. He retired from podcasting, as they say, and you came on with Kyle. So thank you you've been wonderful. You're the voice I didn't know we needed on the show because I hate, I'm most afraid to say female voice, but anyways, but you do identify as a female. You are a woman. So I can safely say it's been nice having that perspective. It's been a new perspective for that journey of the film. So thank you.
Yeah. And if you're not already listening to that, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It's called One More Round, the Rocky series podcast. Check it out. Okay, without further ado, I do want to do the time capsule, but a little note. Katie had a little accident and broke her wrist. So I am behind on life and all my podcasting and doing everything with one hand. And it's more challenging than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to do an abbreviated version of the time capsule because research and typing with one hand, it's difficult.
Wife, as you know, she's
I did think of her. Here's something I will say. How does she pull her hair up?
She does. Maybe I'll have to have her do a video of how she does it so you can see. So as you know, she has her elbow up from her left arm. So she's missing her elbow down. So she has this part of the elbow, the part that can bend. She has that part there.
Okay.
So she uses that. She can actually hold like a measuring cup in there when she does baking and stuff.
Crook of your,
and she'll actually use that too to type. So she'll type with her elbow and her fingers on her right hand. So you'll see her type like this. It's so crazy.
She's learned how to do it.
Oh yeah, to her, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
she's never not had an arm and a half, so to speak. So she's just lived her life that way. So yeah, she does her hair up. The only thing she says she can't do is tie her shoes and monkey bars.
Yeah. So I, thus the hat. I can't do much with my hair. I really struggle not being able to I have long hair and I usually put it up in like a clip.
Right.
When I'm not, whatever. It's a problem, you guys. So anyway, that's why we're doing an abbreviated version. My wardrobe is very limited too, because nothing fits over this business.
She's wearing clothes for our audio.
Yeah.
listeners.
Just like a cape. Like a cape.
Yeah, like how
sweater.
you say your wardrobe is limited. She's wearing nothing, folks. She can't put anything on, so she's nude on camera.
Well, so anyway, that's what's going on. But we shall open the time capsule from December 1988. Late 80s were great.
Mm-hmm.
TV was amazing. I don't think we've actually had a movie from 88 yet. So I'm going to quickly, for the Nielsen ratings for 88 to 89 season. Number 1, do you have any guesses what it is, Ryan? Number
Comedy
1
or
show.
drama?
It's a sitcom.
Cheers.
Close. One more guess.
88 Cosby Show?
Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Cosby Show's the number 1 show. Number 2 is Roseanne.
You know what's funny? You keep talking about Roseanne on your show, and it's a comedy show. I think I might have mentioned one of my guest appearances, but it's just one I never watched.
It's so good.
I've seen episodes, I recognize. I know Roseanne, despite whatever she was a comedic talent, and I do like her energy, and I do like her comedy style. It's funny enough, but it's just a show at that time. Keep in mind, I was a 13-year-old boy at that time, and so this is the idea of watching that. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a draw to a 13-year-old Ryan, but at my age now, I would probably enjoy it now for sure.
I'm curious why, because there's kids in it and the kids are good in it. It's just about family dynamics, but a working class family.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it resonated with a lot of people, is because they didn't have a fancy
rich.
house.
I was very rich growing up.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you were
I
just too
I was
snooty for it.
I would trust you. I was. Oh no, I think Roseanne did better than we did. So I don't know what's funny. It just did not resonate. I was aware of the show, but I was never drawn to it for some reason.
It's one of my favorites. So I like, number 2, 1988. One that kind of surprises me is that number 3 is A Different World, which is the Cosby Show spinoff.
Yeah.
And I liked that show, but I didn't realize it was that popular.
Probably that coattail thing of who knows when it was at the first season, maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
So
it's like that initial bump, from the Cosby Show, but then people are like, I'm not sure if this is much. It probably didn't last. Did it last more than 4 or 5 seasons?
It probably was maybe 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe. Yeah. And then Cheers.
Yay.
And then big shocker, The Golden Girls. It is always in the top 10.
Which is funny. I watched that. So there you go. I would watch the Golden Girls. I had no interest in older women, as they would say. But I love the Golden Girls, even as a 13-year-old or
everyone
young teen.
liked that show. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So who knows why things are drawn to you when other shows aren't. But yeah, I watched the Golden Girls. Yeah.
Also, one of my favorites, Who's the Boss?
Yeah, I watched that, of course, because crushing on Alyssa Milano. We're the same age. So totally appropriate, age appropriate. I crushed on her as a teenager. And then I kind of had a MILF crush on the mother. I can't help it. So
Judith Light?
Yeah.
The blonde?
I had
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Gilf? I think a lot of people digged Doug Mona.
I think it was the whole family. Look, as a teenage boy, it's very easy to crush on a lot of different things. But
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked Mona, but I'm a
She was
Tony
great.
Maselli man. I loved Tony Danza. So.
Yeah, he was I like Tony too. From Taxi, that I watched him on Taxi first. Yeah.
And then Murder, She Wrote, which you've already mentioned you didn't quite like. But then
No.
Empty Nest was in the top 10,
No,
which
definitely.
was the Golden Girls spinoff.
Right.
Are you aware of that one? Did you
Where's
watch
the
it
show?
or-
Probably saw a couple just because of the Golden Girls ish, but I never watched it.
And then the last couple are Anything But Love and Dear John.
No.
Yeah.
Dear John
Yeah.
sounds familiar, but no.
That's
Might be a
with
reason.
Judd Hirsch.
Right. Yeah,
Mhm.
Judd Hirsch. Interesting character. Another
Mhm.
Taxi.
Mhm.
Alum? He was my least favorite character on Taxi. He
Okay.
bugged me. He just,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what it is about him. Danny DeVito's great. Of course, Christopher Lloyd was amazing. Laka, they're all fantastic. Even Tony Danza. The two that I didn't like the most were Judd Hirsch and the guy who was playing the actor in the show, who always try looking for an acting gig. Forget his name, but he always wore a jean jacket.
Jeff Conway?
Yeah, I think so. What is that his name? But he was always looking. He was an out of work actor.
I'm not very familiar. I'm like watching Taxi now here and there. I'm not it was way before my time.
Mary Lou Henner? Ooh,
yeah.
Man, stunning woman.
Yeah, she is. All right, well, we're going to only do one Billboard, the number one song from the week of December 2nd.
Just the one song?
Just the one song. I said it. This is abbreviated. I did not have time to do.
No, no excuses here.
I have a little bit from each. So
Okay.
I have one music. I have some news and events.
Okay.
I even have some trivia for the movie, but okay. December 2nd, 1988. You're never going to guess what it is.
Give me a genre, maybe?
No, you're not going to guess what it is. I guarantee it.
Oh, come on. Don't say it. Don't forget.
Okay, well, if I say the name of the group, you will have to get it because I didn't know who the group was.
Okay. Well, then give me, are they rock and roll, R&B? Are they like the boy band?
It's like soft
Boys
rock.
to Men?
No,
soft
no,
rock.
almost like islandy soft rock. It's probably yacht rock, maybe.
Okay, give me the name of the band. I'll see if I can guess the song.
Will to Power.
Oh, no way. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
I
weird.
you know the song. Everyone knows the song. Baby, I love your way. Ooh, baby, I love your way.
So one hit wonder.
Every day, yeah, that. Will to Power.
Will to Power. Yeah, you're right. I know the tune. Will to Power. Okay, Will to Power Band. Okay. They're an American dance pop group, South Florida.
That tracks. South Florida.
That is funny. They've had 3 albums, 3 studio albums. Will to Power in '88, Journey Home in 1990, and they took a 14-year hiatus. And they released an album in 2004 called Spirit Warrior.
All
So there you
right.
go. That is hilarious.
Hey, you guys, if you know any other song that they sang other than Baby, I Love Your Way, please let me know. Oh, also, just please reach out. Generally speaking, I will remind you at the end of the show, but email me, retromadepodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear comments, feedback, questions, whatever you got to say, good or bad, for the finale wrap-up episode for season 1. So do that. All right, news and events, Ryan, from December of 1988. Benazir Bhutto is named Prime Minister of Pakistan. Why do we care, you might ask? She, first female leader of a Muslim country.
Wow.
I'm actually really shocked by that.
There was a time. There was a time.
In 1988. We can't do it in America in 2024.
No, but I mean, there was a time that those nations weren't what they are today.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
The regime changes and all that good stuff.
That's a good point. They used to be able to wear American clothes and stuff.
If you look at some of the pictures from the 70s of Iran, for example, you
Yeah.
would think it was Florida.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Good times.
Go Pakistan.
Yeah.
Well, the federal grand jury indicts the PTL club founder and Christian evangelist, Jim Baker, for fraud after he paid hush money to cover up an alleged rape. Gee, why does that sound so familiar?
Oh, you stop it now. You stop it. Yeah, I don't know.
Hush money to cover that up. Gee.
Well, even worse than that is, I hear what you're saying. And I agree. But even worse is I get triggered by the religion aspect of things.
Yeah.
People taking money from people who are suffering, people who feel like they have to buy their way to heaven, and they believe it. And I know there's a sucker born every minute. Sometimes I feel like I was one growing up. So it sucks that these people, who's the new one or not the new one? Who's the one today? What's his name again? Joel Osteen? Is that his name?
Well, yeah, the megachurch do. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Scientology's the same way. Yeah.
Well, most religion is just this.
Yeah.
Their coffers are full of the hardworking people.
If your pastor is rich, there's a problem.
Yeah, Jesus, the person these pastors claim to worship. Let me just quick side tangent. You know, he was a carpenter's son, and he literally gave the shirt off his back for the poor, and mingled with them, and he was never rich. You know, he had the great story about the woman who gave her last mite to the donations, and the Sadducees and the Pharisees scoffed at her for her small pittance that she gave. And Jesus scoffed at them and said, "She gave all that she had. To what have you given?" Yeah. So,
Yeah. Don't even get me started on
you want to do a podcast on
how
anti-religious?
Christ like some Christians like Jim Baker were,
Yeah, I know. I don't.
But yeah, that was happening in 1988. Big news.
That was big. Yeah, that was big news. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then we have a famous death. Roy Orbison, American rock singer, songwriter, Pretty Woman.
Oh yeah, Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
My mother saw Roy. I think when she was 14 in concert.
Did she throw her panties at him?
Maybe.
Or her bra or something?
I think she would have saved that for George Harrison of the Beatles. I think.
Oh, she's a big fan of the George.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me a quick story when she saw, what's that movie they did? Hard Day's Night. There was a concert film, whatever. She saw it in the theater. She says she saw it. She couldn't hear it. The whole time, the girls were screaming. The whole movie, she couldn't hear the movie because every time Paul comes on the screen, scream. John comes on the screen, screaming. Every time anyone would talk, they would scream. So my mom saw The Hardest Day's Night in the theater, but the theater was just girls screaming the whole hour.
Just as a side note, the whole Beatlemania business, I don't understand because they were not attractive at all. I don't think.
No, and I would say objectively, I wouldn't say you're wrong because beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so you can't be wrong. It's what you're trying. But I do see it. I do, especially those early days, Hard Days, Night days with the boppy haircuts, and they had the shoot ties, and maybe not so much in their hippie days. But I do see these young lads. Yeah, it's look, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue the Beatlemania was a real thing, and
no, it was.
It's just funny to see my mom. You know, she crushed on George. And he's my favorite Beatle too, by the way. So it's very interesting. Yeah,
I don't have a favorite Beatle. This might seem like sacrilege, but I'm a Stones girl, and so I don't really know much about the Beatles. Like I don't love them. Like I'm like, they're all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a musical. Like I can't comment like as a professional. I will just say I love the Stones too, and I'm a bit of a contrarian. I'm not sure if that's the right word. I'm what is it when you can like both things? Like you can like Coke and Pepsi. What do they call that? Like you're bipartisan or you're agnostic about it?
I don't know what word.
What's the term?
For.
What's the term? Yeah, I'm one of those people. Like
Equal
I like
opportunity.
Well, no, I'm not one of those people. I like Sega and Nintendo. I like Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah,
I've always found you don't have to choose. You can just like vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Life is
you
full.
Can. Yeah.
Okay.
You can. Yeah. Well, so Roy Orbison was only 52 when he died. It was a massive heart attack. 52.
That's great. That's so young.
It is young.
That's only 3 years older than I am now. Scary. Yeah.
All right, that's what I got for the time capsule, you guys. Like I said, it's abbreviated, so we have more time to talk about Tequila Sunrise. Shall we get into it?
I was looking forward to the time capsule, but I'll take your accident. That's fine. It's not your fault.
Well, if you have other memories, specific memories of things from 1988, you are welcome.
I was relying on you. I'm not even just. I listened to your show. That's the thing, because I listened to your show. I was like, oh, Katie's going to bring it. I don't have to worry about nothing. She's like the consummate professional. I was like, oh, you broke your wrist. All right,
except for today.
No, I'm excited to talk about the film anyways. That's good.
All right, let's get into Tequila Sunrise. December 2nd, 1988, rated at R. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
6.0 out of 10. So if people haven't seen Tequila Sunrise, as I hadn't, had you seen it, Ryan?
No, and when you gave me the choices of films to pick for this season, I picked one. I picked Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze for the sole purpose because I hadn't seen it. It does say it forced me, but there's films in our life we talked offline that we just don't get around to seeing. So it forced me. You know what? Now I get to watch Next of Kin. Never seen it before with Patrick Swayze. I of course seen Big Trouble in Little China. But I hadn't watched it in quite some time. But yeah, I had not seen Tequila Sunrise. It's been one of those films where it's like, hey, it's got Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer. My goodness, why haven't I seen this?
Right.
So I picked it so I could watch it with you and talk about it with you. Absolutely, my first time.
Well, if like Ryan and I, you guys haven't seen it, or if it's been a minute, it is about Dale Mac McCusick is an unlikely drug dealer who wants to go straight. His old and best friend, Nick Freesia, is now a cop who is assigned to investigate and bring him to justice. Mac is very attracted to Joanne, the owner of a stylish restaurant. Nick gets close to Joanne, attempting to know more about Mac's drug dealing plans and his connections with the Mexican dealer Carlos, who the police believe is coming to town to meet with him. Nick also falls for Joanne's charms, and his friendship with Mac is in danger. Tequila Sunrise.
Good summary. Were you confused at all by the plot? Or am I just dumb? Don't answer.
Well,
let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase the question. It's funny because I don't consider myself an unintelligent person, and I don't consider myself a simpleton when it comes to watching films. I really don't. I watch a lot of very high-end dramas on TV, intelligent films or TV that I think are, intelligent writing. I had a little bit of a hard time. I went in cold. Never saw a trailer. Didn't read a synopsis.
Same.
So I went in cold. So when the opening scene starts off with Mel Gibson's character, in the middle of a drug negotiation deal, whatever, and Kurt Russell's character comes in playing the cop, and do they not know each other? And so I think after 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to read the synopsis just a little bit, because I feel like I'm behind the eight ball a little bit. I think it's almost like we're supposed to know that before we started the show. I think the trailers probably gave it away.
Okay.
I don't know. I found myself a little bit confused. I felt like, I followed the story, but at the same time, there were some, and I wasn't alone on this. Even some big critics like Roger Ebert and other people, that was one of the criticisms about the film. Maybe one of the reasons why it was a low rating, that it was almost too intelligent for its own good. So it's Robert Towne. Like, yes, you're a good writer and storyteller, but maybe, not say dumb it down, but I felt like it was a rushed plot, or maybe some things didn't have to. There's so much going on in a 2-hour film.
I think it's one of those movies where there are things happening behind, there's little side things that are happening that upon a second or third watch, it's maybe one of those movies where, it's like Mel Gibson's character, Mac. We kind of learn that he and Kurt are friends. I have a problem with this. So Kurt is Detective Lieutenant Nick Freesia. Mel Gibson is Dale Mac McCusick. Michelle Pfeiffer is Joanne.
Remember, Mel is Mick. Oh, sorry, Mel is Mac. Kurt is Nick.
Mac and Nick.
Yeah.
So we learn through a series of events and little things that they have been friends for a long time.
Sure.
There was Mac ended up in a Mexican prison for 10 years because he got caught. I don't know if it was like smoking weed or had weed. They live on the beach. Mac lives on the beach. So when they were kids, Nick just got lucky and wasn't there when the cops came.
He said he was swimming in the ocean or something like that. He happened to be like swimming in the ocean when the cops showed up, so he lucked out. But it isn't like Nick was necessarily innocent in their past. It's just Mac got caught.
Right. And then Mac kind of continued down that line. He met this Carlos who took him under his wing or helped save his life while he was in this Mexican prison. So then he's kind of been working with Carlos, who's in Mexico, and the cops, like the DEA agent played by J.T. Walsh, Hal McGuire. So there's all this surveillance happening. They're trying to figure out when because they want to get Carlos. That's their target.
Right.
And they think that Mac is going to host him for a party or just a visit or something. And so there's all the surveillance. And then Nick is kind of he knows that his friend is in the coke business, but it's kind of a weird deal. He knows it. And towards the end, he's like, I got to arrest you. Or, at first he kind of lets him go because he knows they don't have enough to make the charges stick. The opening scene was a little confusing with that by with his lawyer. Like his lawyer was trying to sell the drugs, but then he
Yeah, he's going to teach him how to sell it apparently properly or something like that. He was
But
gonna
what
help
was the
him.
deal with him putting one of the kilos like in the toilet at the beginning and then he goes in the bathroom to get it before he leaves? What was that about?
It's like he was effing over his lawyer a little bit because okay, I have a theory. It just came to me now. So it was clever. He put it in the toilet. I think either A, he knew this drug bust was going to go down, that he was going to get busted doing drugs. So what happened is when the cops, played by Kurt, went to go look at his briefcase, it was empty. There's no drugs. Mel's
But it was
character
just
walked
1
out.
kilo. I assumed there was more in
I
the.
think he took it all. I think he took the whole package.
Okay.
So the lawyer, so he saved his lawyer because there's nothing there.
Mhm.
So when he goes, I just have to go take a pee. But that's why he put it in the toilet, was so if anyone walked in to use the bathroom, they wouldn't see it.
Right.
He says, hey, I just have to use the washroom before I leave. I'll let you guys do it. Walks out with the drugs, and now his lawyer, now we don't know what happened to those drugs that he took. I don't know. I can't remember if something was said about it. But I think it was a way of showing you that he's not a bad guy. He saved his lawyer. He saved it because he said it was trying to teach him how to do it properly or not get
Mhm.
himself in trouble or something to that effect. Because we don't really see the lawyer again or something. I don't know if I can't remember.
He's at
that.
the restaurant later because it's the Michelle Pfeiffer's character. It's her lawyer also. They share the same lawyer.
Ugh, see, this is okay. See, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay.
So let's talk about some of the cast members so that as we're talking about the movie, it makes a little more sense. So you brought up Robert Towne, who is both the director and writer. He doesn't direct much. This is maybe
No.
one of his only directorial jobs, but he has a ton of, he's a pretty prolific writer, including Chinatown,
Mm-hmm.
Days of Thunder, The Firm, Mission Impossible 1 and 2. So he must have a thing with Tom Cruise,
Sure.
potentially. So that's who the writer and director is. We talked about Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, and then Raul Julia, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he elevates everything he's in. I just love him. He
Yeah, he's great.
plays Comandante Xavier Escalante. And then, spoiler alert, so Escalante, he's been working for the last 8 years with our DE agent. He's a Mexican Comandante working with JT Walsh's character, who's a DE agent in America. So somehow they've been working together to catch this Carlos, right? Is that how you understood it?
Yeah. So did you get the big reveal that he was Carlos before? he
Totally.
revealed-
Did you?
Okay. And I have something to confess. It's not because I looked up the plot. I looked up who was in the film, and I saw that Raul Julia was credited as 2 people. So I was like,
Oh, I didn't. Because on IMDb, it doesn't say that he's Carlos. It just
it
says
was
that he's
Wikipedia
Escalante.
that did that.
Okay.
So I looked at the cast of Wikipedia, and I wasn't looking for spoilers. I was just seeing, because there was a couple of actors that came up. It's like, oh, that person looks familiar. So I looked them up on Wikipedia. So when I got to Raul Julia's role, I was actually pretty certain that he actually played Carlos. But then I saw that he was like this, police officer title, and I'm like, so he's Mexican police. What? So I knew either he's. So what happened was, the problem with that knowledge was, I didn't know the reveal was going to be the way it was going to be at the very least. I didn't know how it was going to be revealed. So when he showed himself to be the police officer, then I recognized, okay, he's going to be bad. I thought how
Okay.
they were going to do it was, maybe this would have been a better film, and this is where my brain went. Let's see if you can follow me. So me knowing that he plays 2 characters, and Mac, played by Mel, is in cahoots and talking to Carlos, I thought it was going to be revealed that Carlos was a cop and Mac was playing with the cops all along, and that he was helping all along. The big reveal at the end was going to be that, yes, Kurt Russell's character, it looked like I was doing bad things. It looked like I was still, JT Walsh's character still following around, but it turns out I've been helping the Mexican government the whole time. That's why I got out of jail early, because I've been helping them the whole time. Ta-da, Carlos is really an undercover cop.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I didn't know. So I knew that Raul Julia was in this, and I saw that he was playing this Escalante. But then when I'm watching the movie and they keep talking about Carlos, I'm like, oh, so at first I was like, oh, shoot. I assumed that Raul Julia was going to be Carlos. And even when Mel's character, Mac, is on a payphone, 1988, a payphone talking to Carlos, you can hear Carlos talking to him. And it's very clear. I was like, that's Raul Julia's voice.
Oh, wow. Wow, you caught that from that. See, that's what I mean. I thought, okay, they're just going to, they're good all this time. But I mean, The ending was fine in itself, but I don't know, say I like my idea better. I don't know. I just thought that would have been a good pull to have. It's almost like the cop being the bad guy. I guess I don't know. It might have been more of a heroic ending for Mel's character that he ended up just being the good guy all along. Like we were tricked by the audience was tricked thinking, oh, he's still getting himself in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't hate the way that it is. It is a little convoluted, but it's different in that we now have, it's a long con in that
right.
As Escalante, he's like a policeman in Mexico. He's been working for 8 years trying to catch himself. So this allows him to always know what, he can be Carlos, always knowing what the police are doing and planning.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that was kind of cool. But yeah. And then as we mentioned, the DEA agent played by J.T. Walsh, he has been in several movies with Kurt. I want to say 4, and I can't think of the 4th one. So this, Breakdown, Backdraft, and I think maybe one more that I'm forgetting about. But they've been in several movies together. And we've covered all of those. You guys listen to those episodes.
That's weird. He's a great actor. He was with Tom Cruise. He was with Tom Cruise, of course, in A Few Good Men.
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. I think I need to give it a rewatch.
You do need to give it a rewatch. A fantastic film. Are we done with Robert Towne? Because there's one thing I want to say about him.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, just speaking of the worst of the best podcast, he's one of our celebrities who died this year. Yay!
He did?
Yeah, he died July 1st, 2024.
Of old age or?
89.
Okay.
So I would, who knows what I could look it up here, but what eventually killed him? Yeah.
But it wasn't like he was 50. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't suicide. This says here he died at his home. So there you go.
Yeah.
So if he died.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably the best. I mean, if you're going to go at home while you got your socks on in bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dying like in your sleep. Yeah. That's the best.
Oh, it's absolutely dying in your sleep with a fire around you. That's the best way to go. No.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
A little dark humor.
We talked about the lawyer.
Oh yeah.
His name in the movie is Andy Leonard.
Yeah.
And he's played by, I don't know how to pronounce it, R. Gross. A-R-Y-E. How do you pronounce that?
Oh, Ari probably. Ari?
Ari? Okay.
Probably Ari, yeah.
Apologies that I'm mispronouncing your name, Mr. Gross, but he is extremely familiar. Did you recognize him from anything?
Yeah, I'm just looking at his credentials right now. He's got one of those faces like, hey, you're that guy. And
he does have one of those faces.
But that's the best face to have. I've said it before. Be that guy. He's got hundreds of credits. Hundreds. So he's a working actor. He's done films up to 2019. He's done TV shows up until 2022. He's retired now. He's 64 now. But that's a whole life of just film and TV. And he can just go to the grocery store and he doesn't have to be bothered by anyone.
He has a look to him. And it was bothering me the whole time. I'm like, oh, what do I know him from? What do I know him from? Well,
he's been in Friends, right? I think
he was in one episode of Friends. And I think it's either when Rachel's trying to get back at Ross, so she goes on a date with somebody. His name is Michael. Sure. She goes on a date with him and it's a horrible date. Or it's when Monica and her other chef friend both sleep with this guy. I think it's that one maybe. His name's Michael. And the way he gets women to sleep with him is he pretends to be impotent. And then the women think that they cured him of it.
Man, I got to try that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm married. Okay, never mind.
You're like, wait a minute. So both of those, they're like, oh, I take credit. Like the Monica finds out that her like sous chef is like, I take credit for him.
I remember that episode, funny enough. I've seen that, I've seen that series, no joke, 3 times all the way through in order.
It's very good.
I do enjoy it. I have huge, don't even get me started. I have a huge crush on Monica. She is so gorgeous in that series.
She is.
But, yeah.
She is. And I think she has the prettiest face also. But
I think she's just a hot, objectified time. Ding, 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 ding. I think she's both body and face and hair. She's way hotter than, I don't understand, whatever. I think Phoebe is hotter than.
Phoebe's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Her
Lisa
face,
Kudrow.
like the way her eyes. Yeah, Lisa Kudrow's gorgeous.
I know she's kind of dressed down, so to speak.
They have her being kooky.
Yeah, kooky and weird on the show, but objectively, I think she's prettier than. Anyways, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got to see. Have you seen Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion?
Yeah, of course. I saw it in theaters.
She's gorgeous in it. Yeah. Well, he also, so yeah, one episode of Friends. And then this Ari Gross, who's a regular, one of the main characters
Okay.
in the sitcom Ellen from the
Oh,
early to
that's
mid
where I saw it.
90s.
Okay.
His
He's a
name in
regular.
that show is Adam. He was a regular on
Good
that.
okay, there you go. So that was his. If you're a regular in a sitcom, that's your easy street. You've made whatever you need to make, and everything else is just gravy. Yeah,
Hmm.
good for him. Okay.
And then Mac has this cousin named Greg Lindroff in the movie. He, I think it appears as though he lives with him in this beach house. And spoiler alert, he turns out to be an informant. And you see hints of it. Again, there's little things that I think upon a second watch, the movie would maybe come together a little bit better, but there's a lot to keep track of. And we'll get into that a little bit, but just to round out the cast, this cousin is played by Arliss Howard. He played Private Cowboy in Full Metal Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about him on Retromade because he played Virgil in To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he also had. I thought I recognized him as well. I watched the show True Blood. He was part of season 6's main cast near the end of the series. So that's probably where my face, like my brain, like I've seen that face. But yeah, he's been in other stuff as well. But that was a show that I watched back in the day when it was on. So my brain recognized that. You've seen that
Okay.
face before, so I had to look it up. Yep, there it is.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, True Blood was good. That was good. I enjoyed it.
The music was done by David Grusin, and I didn't note a whole. Are you familiar with David Grusin?
No, are we the one to blame for the saxophone? Is that his fault?
Maybe. Ooh, there's some very typical
Oh my gosh.
let's get it on music and
Sure.
yeah, jazzy saxophone stuff. And then
He's an Academy Award nominee
nominee for which movie?
for original score for Heaven Can Wait,
Mm-hmm.
in 1979, then again in 1980 for The Champ.
Ooh, The Champ is phenomenal.
Still have to see it. Then in 82 for Golden Pond. Then in 1990 for Fabulous Baker Boys, Michelle Pfeiffer. Havana in 91. And The Firm with Tom Cruise and Robert Towne as the writer in 94.
Okay,
So
they're
this
a
guy has
team.
been nominated.
They're a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that because usually I do some research on the composer
That's
and
okay.
I
That's
didn't.
okay.
today,
And he's
so thank-
actually a winner. There you go. I should have
For?
said he actually did win for a movie called he won. It's weird for a movie to win the score, not hear the film. 89's The Milagro Beanfield War. Milagro, the Milagro Beanfield
Is it a
War.
foreign film? I've never heard of it.
It's directed by Robert Redford,
Interesting.
but it seems like it's starring a cast. I mean, Melanie Griffith is in it, but she's like mid cast. Christopher Walken's in it, but the first couple names like Ruben Blades, I don't know who that is. So
Interesting.
it is weird. Isn't that weird? What a weird thing. Yeah, but he won the Academy Award for that score. Robert Redford. There's somebody we could tackle one day. Oh, these 6 Degrees. I enjoy it. Yeah.
It is fun. This movie did Tequila Sunrise is what I mean by this movie, was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Cinematography. Conrad L. Hall did the cinematography.
Interesting.
What did you think about it?
So one best. So it won.
No, it was nominated.
Nominated. Okay, nominated. Oh, that's fair. There was one scene in particular where I could see maybe that was the scene that got it nominated, was when Kurt and Mel were talking
On the swings?
On the swings. It was a sunset, but it's too bad they couldn't get a sunrise because it would have been perfect. But it was a sunset because the sun was going lower into the mountains. But very cool shot. I mean, that was no CGI, no blue screen. That was just like, hey, we got the sun setting. You're sitting on the swings at the beach and the mountains over there, and they use that natural. So they're just silhouetted black. And the dialogue was falling to mouth. You could see like Kurt when he would talk and move. It's like, so there was obviously post ADR, I would assume, but they nailed the dialogue with the mouth movements that were silhouetted. So it was a very good shot.
That I agree. I took note of that shot as well.
Okay.
But there was one shot that I took note of for a negative reason.
Yeah.
The hot tub scene.
Oh, yeah. Did you get the trivia on that?
Yeah.
Well,
So
share
you-
it now, I guess.
Well,
There you go.
okay. You guys, there's a scene where Mac and Joanne are in the hot tub together and, they're developing a love for each other and they start, getting it on.
Sure.
And then there's like it's very steamy. There's that cheesy jazz going
Yes.
on. Even like the surveillance people are watching it and they're like loosening their tie. We're supposed to get that
so
it's hot. It
corny.
wasn't that hot. I don't think
No,
it
it's
was
a terrible love scene.
but here's what I took note of. I jumped back because they like jump like violently out of the water at a
Yeah, it's
certain
weird.
point.
It's
Did
like
you know
Rambo
what I
coming
mean?
out of the. It was like Rambo coming out of the water in part 2 when he's killing the Vietnamese.
I was like-
because he's like, yeah, I don't get the love scene. I don't get the love making aspect of this. Look, I'm not. If you want to, I don't care where people make love, but water and sex, I don't. It's a different. The whole coitus in the hot tub thing is not appealing to me.
Also, it's gross.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
like,
what I mean.
You'll get a
Like,
UTI.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, and I'll let you share the trivia because you do have it, and I assumed you would, but it looked uncomfortable, and it was really uncomfortable, and it looked uncomfortable. It's not that sexy. I think they think it looks sexy because they're wet and they're
Mhm.
glistening. So I think aesthetically we're supposed to think. And the other thing I don't like is when you have this classic, oh, people are listening in on it. The cops are listening in, and are they really turned on? Like me listening to people have sex, like just the audio version of it. Like, yeah, whatever it is. Like, why would I be? And then I'm not turned on with other guys around me. It's a weird. It's not that hot and heavy. It's a whole like, oh boy, let me go in the headphones. I want to hear it. I don't know.
I thought
maybe
they
I'm
had video on them too.
Definitely
No?
audio because they're asking for the headphone. I think there was. Maybe you're right. There was, but I don't know if they
Because-
could see through the canvas and stuff. I mean, the hot tub was private. There was a wall.
I
around
guess.
it.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought there was video also because they were like, is she going to leave? Is she going to leave? And no, she doesn't leave. They did start in the hot tub and then ended like on the deck of it. That's
Yeah,
where they actually
weird.
had sex. And,
Oh, my
she's a beautiful
apologies,
woman.
yeah.
So I can see them being like, oh, if they could see her.
If they could see, sure, but the whole look, I never understood because I hear. Look, I'm old. I hear about I hear podcasts and stuff. People say, yeah, my old man had this VHS tape, and me and my friends would watch it. And I don't get in sharing adult stuff with other people. It's a
Well, no,
weird
you wouldn't
concept.
want to watch porn with people.
No,
But-
that's what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But that's what they were acting like. I understand there was no internet back then, so maybe it's like
Yeah,
live.
this is
It's like
yeah.
a live cam for them, so to speak.
It
I
was.
get, but it's not that. I guess like you guys are also adults. Settle down. You know what sex is. But it's for the audience. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be. It's because it's like it's a steamy
Mhm.
scene, but now it's a
Literal
little bit of comedy.
steam, literal steam.
literal steam, and now but it's a little bit of comedy as well for us.
It was very strange. They shot out of the water.
It was
Like
actually no, it was a
violently, and
horrible.
I was like,
It was horribly shot. You're right. It's horrible lighting, not very well shot. So cinematography wise, this was like I've seen a few love scenes in movies, like Top Gun's a good one that comes to mind, where it's like kind of like it's very like, ooh, I feel a little bit uncomfortable watching this with my kids. Like
mhm.
it's but because it's not gratuitous. Like I don't need. I don't actually. I'm not. I don't. I'm gonna show my cards here a little bit. I don't need sex scenes in films, but when they're there, it's like okay, they're passionate. I get it. Like it's okay. I don't need gratuitousness or 5 minutes long either. But I get that they were hot and heavy for each other. There's nothing wrong with this scene. There was nothing really gratuitous in it. It just seemed awkward. It just seemed it was filmed awkwardly. And I think the actors had an awkward experience, if I recall correctly.
Yes. So the hot tub was not built properly or chlorinated.
Yeah.
So Michelle Pfeiffer and her double and Mel Gibson got skin rashes and splinters from the wood. Production shut down for a few days, actually, while Michelle Pfeiffer recovered from her rash. Gross.
From the wood, you say.
We're like, what's that rash from? If there wasn't, because I can see if it was like overly chlorinated, the chemicals, but why would you get a rash from just water?
I don't know if it's from the water. It could just be from the actual the rubbing on the wood on the deck.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like a rug burn, but on the wood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, since we were talking about Friends, I will bring up this little piece of trivia. I missed it. I didn't take note of it. But apparently in one scene, Matt LeBlanc appears
Yes.
on the TV in a commercial,
Yeah, I
which
missed it
actually was
too.
a real commercial for Heinz Ketchup. Did you see it?
Yeah, I missed looking at the commercial. I just recognized the TV's on. But yeah, what a weird connection that there's Matt LeBlanc going to be
Mhm.
a famous actor one day. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still remember him on one episode of Just the 10 of Us. He plays like a football player that Wendy,
course.
one of the daughters, dates. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember, being a kid at that time being
Sure.
like, ooh, he's cute.
Oh. Joey. Yeah.
But Joey's
your
not
f-
really that cute.
Who's your? Okay, so really quickly, you might have already answered this when you guessed it on my show, but of the three guys, all in their prime, and they're
None.
all their no, you have okay, stop. Here you go. Here, who's your F Mary kill for the three of them?
Well, speaking of which, I did that. I did Friends for F, Marry, Kill
Yeah.
on Scott's show. And I think I did do F Joey before he got fat. Like
How dare you?
when, earlier on when he was still kind of an
That's why I said
attractive
prime.
time,
That's
yeah.
why I said prime. All of them in their prime.
When early Joey, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
F him. Okay, then Mary.
Oh, I got to kill one.
Yeah, that's F Mary kill. Yeah.
I guess I would marry Chandler and kill Ross.
Wow, kill Ross, eh? Oh,
Yeah.
poor. But that's terrible because now I'm married to Monica, and we're gonna have to go to his funeral because of you. That's
Yeah.
funny. Monica. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Who would you kill? And
I'd marry Monica. I would F Phoebe because I
Yep.
think she'd be the funnest in bed, and then I'd kill Rachel just out of spite for everyone thinking she's
no,
the best.
I support this 100%. And there's even an episode where Phoebe says something like when she's trying to fake seduce Chandler, and she's like, "I'm very bendy."
I'm sure she is actually. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, all
All
right.
right. This movie did make money.
Yeah,
It had a budget of $23 million and it grossed 106. Were you
which
surprised
is
by that?
like yes and no. Okay, so the rating on IMDb doesn't surprise me, and then the box office doesn't surprise me because of who's in it.
True. Hmm.
People went to the theater. You got to keep in mind this was during the time of movies where people went to the films because of the actors. I was a part of this, so that's why even as a kid, I remember when this movie came out. I was 13, but I was watching Mad Max: Lethal Weapon, so I'm like very aware of Mel, and I like Mel. So I'm like, but there's a reason why, I like Kurt Russell. I'd watch, of course, Kurt Russell films. I was aware of Kurt Russell. I loved Kurt Russell back as a teenager, but this was a film that even back then I kind of knew as a teenage boy that it wasn't Lethal Weapon. It wasn't Mad Max. I could tell it was a film noir drama love triangle. It's like I probably saw a trailer on TV. I'm like, it doesn't appeal to me. It just seems too adulty. Like even I would be like, ugh, they're trying to be. It skipped I probably just kept picking a different movie off Blockbuster shelf, and the years go on. The years go on. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I've gone
that
this
does
long.
happen.
So I've seen almost every Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell film, but this, like I said, this is one that, funny enough, they're both in it, and it wasn't enough of a draw for a teenage boy to watch, but I can see why my parents probably went and saw it in the theaters.
Hmm. So, yeah, I never saw it either. The name of the movie is not descriptive of what it's about at all. So
It's a drink, is my
what's that?
understanding.
Yeah. And Mel drinks that drink in the,
Yeah. It's what a weird.
I mean, I guess like they play on sunrise, like the beach, sunrise, sunset.
Yeah, but
There's-
that's what I mean. That whole scene
Yeah.
should have been a sunrise. I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
So IMDb has it with 6 categories of movie. I think this is part of why
Oh.
we didn't. They say it is a dark comedy, drug
Sure.
crime, drama, romance, and thriller. Usually it's like 2 or 3 categories in a movie. So it is a little all over the place. But it did still get a 6, which that's pretty decent.
Are we going to talk about the main cast? I mean, not to, because I've got things I want to say, and I think
Yeah,
this ties into why. So I think for me, the score is valid in that the cast was great. I don't think it was the best script in the world. I think Robert Towne I think he thinks he's making another Chinatown. I think not everyone can be Quentin Tarantino. He's one of my favorite director writers. I'm sorry, like every time he writes a film, holy crap, this guy knows how to write a freaking dialogue. He knows how to write films. I think Robert Towne would like to think he could be a QT, and he's just not. I think he wrote a really good film, Chinatown. I don't know if it was ever quite revisited. So I think he thinks it's a smart film. And then the actors got to work with the guy that, gave Jack Nicholson Chinatown. So they got to work with Robert Towne. It's like back then that was like the Quentin Tarantino of the day.
Sure.
So they're like, hey, we get to work with this smart writer, intelligent writer. And the script does seem intelligent. Like, it doesn't seem like, on paper, it probably sounds smart. And the actors brought their A game. Nobody dialed it in. Mel was very Mel, Michelle was very Michelle, and Kurt was very Kurt.
Mhm.
And they did all the things that I like that they do as actors. They did it in this film. Nobody, quote unquote, dialed in. I don't think anyone showed up and said, "Oh, I liked what I saw with what they were given." And so that's your 6. I think, to me, the plot was kind of cliche and boring. It's like Fox and the Hound, in that he got a criminal and a cop who are friends. Like, come on. I mean, I don't know if he invented that trope, but that's a trope that we've seen 1,000 times. Both sides, they're different sides of the law, but they're friends and they're conflicted. And then we have a love triangle. Ooh, that's never been done before. I don't know. And look, it's another drug movie from the 80s. And so all these things were like, all the storylines had either been done before in other films and TV and done better, but then you have actors in their prime delivering these things. You're like, okay, well, it's watchable because it's them. And the other actors, I would have turned it off.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think it had high.
Oh, it looks great.
There was
on the
something
poster.
there. There was something there, and even I think I differ from you in that there was a lot of different plots, kind of, that he tried to marry and bring together, and different components of a movie, like you said, the love triangle,
It's
the
Frankenstein
reveals.
of
There's
the
like a
film.
couple different surprise reveals, like that the cousin is the informant, that Raul Julia is that the Mexican comandante is actually the bad guy. And then it's sort of like, well, is Michelle Pfeiffer in on this? Does she know? Does she not know? Does Kurt really like her, or is he just pretending? Because that's a whole thing throughout the
Yeah.
movie too,
Yeah.
that she's trying to determine whether he really likes her or not. P.S. How fun for Michelle Pfeiffer to get to have fun with both Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson. I am not a fan of Mel Gibson, but I think he probably looks his best in this movie.
Okay,
He
can
looked
we?
very normal.
No, this is not a criticism. This is not. I'm going to ask a question. It's not meant to be like, honestly. But
Mhm.
let me ask the question. You don't know anything about Mel outside of movies that you see on screen. Okay, so how do you think he did in this film, or how would you grade Mel as an actor?
Based on this movie?
Maybe just generally. Well, now we're talking about the actors. I find these parts fascinating. Just talking about the actors. That's what
Yeah, I guess
But
even before he had Scandal, I
Sure.
did not care about Mel
Okay,
at
all right,
all.
that's fair. Okay,
I actually criticized people for saying, because he was sexiest man alive for people. And,
sure.
a TV, they would be like, oh, Mel's butt. I never thought he was attractive at all. Like, at all.
No, it's interesting to hear a female woman's perspective. As a young man, I would say this about Mel. I've enjoyed his films, and of course, when all that stuff came out, it's always disheartening because you're like, come on, man. It's always disheartening because there's a part of you where you've received enjoyment from a movie star or a musician, and then some scandal comes out or some like not flattering stuff comes out. You're conflicted because it's like, oh, the art was. Do I not enjoy now? Do I not like The Patriot anymore? Do I not like
Mhm.
yeah, or do I not like those things? Braveheart, do I not like that anymore? So, all that being said, watching Mel is an interesting character. I would say he is definitely somebody I have seen films because it's tough. I think he's one of these actors. What I was trying to say here is that I've seen a lot of his films, but he's not like a Stallone for me in the sense I've literally, if like Stallone's come with a new film when I was a teenager, like I've got to go see it. I even saw
Mhm.
Stop or My Mobile Shoot. I saw that in the theaters. Why? Because Stallone was like, I was a Stallone nut.
Of course,
If
yeah.
if he was in it, I
Yeah,
saw the film in
same.
the theaters. But then Mel's an interesting character where I'll give him, he's 100%. You could almost put Tom Cruise in the same category because on screen, Mel gives it his all, whether you like it or not. And he's 100% an actor's actor in that he does his Melisms. And either you like those or you don't on screen. Tom's the same way. Tom brings his Tominess to all of his films. Either you like that or you don't. Because when it
Mhm.
comes to acting, these guys lay it on the film. That's kind of who they are. So there's parts in this film too where he's just very, I forget the name, Riggs from the Lethal Weapon films. You
Yeah.
could see, but that's just Mel. But I've seen this with other, it's not a criticism or a compliment. It's just you see this with other actors and actresses where it's like, oh, you're just kind of that way. In fact, I just finished watching The Morning Show, the old seasons on Apple TV with
Oh.
Jennifer Aniston. And I like her. Don't get me wrong. I was like a bit slight
Yeah,
on
yeah,
her.
yeah.
I
I
think
know.
she's beautiful. I think she is beautiful and she's wonderful. I actually like her a lot, and she was great in that show. It was great to see her in a dramatic role. But even watching that, it wasn't like, oh, I still see Rachel. As I've watched movies as time has gone on, it's not that you still see Rachel. It's just Jennifer Aniston.
Sure.
That's what I mean. So she was like in this dramatic role. She's cursing, she's having sex, she's doing all these very adult things in this TV show. But she would say stuff like, oh, she would call some of her co-stars honey, for example. She'd go, oh, that's what Rachel used to do, call her co-stars honey. But no, that's Jennifer Aniston. That's probably not even the script, but she just refers to people as honey. So anyways, I say all that. Mel, there's times where I like the crazy eyes and I like the way he is. I like some of his facial mannerisms and his humor and his comedy that he brings to these sometimes serious roles. It's actually very good. He's very good at it. But then, yeah, the controversy. But I just want to say, this is peak Mel. It's too bad though. It's kind of a way. I'll say it again. That's a bit of a waste of peak Mel because he's 32 in this film. By the way, he's 32.
Really?
Yeah. Because again, I've already criticized the script, so I think he did great with the script that he had. He's 32. Kurt Russell's 37, and Michelle Pfeiffer's 30. And
Okay.
JT Walsh, I believe, is my age in this film. It's funny. I think he was like 40. I think he's 45. I think he's younger than me in this film. So it's one of those people. It's like, do you ever look young? But so that was the ages. So these are all actors like Michelle, Mel, and Kurt prime. And Kurt looked extremely handsome.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Can we talk about how?
Well, yeah. So are you done with the Mel? I want you to put a bow on Mel for me.
So yeah, like controversy. It's interesting that you brought up Tom Cruise, and I'm not trying to say that I'm smarter than other people, but I am empathic in that I think there's a reason. There's a reason, and you don't always know until later why I don't like someone.
Sure.
I'll be like, oh, I'm not loving so and so.
It's your gut. It's your gut.
And then you find out later, oh, okay, now I see why. And everybody was gaga over Tom Cruise. I did think he was attractive in some movies, from back in the day.
Sure.
But I was never crazy for Tom Cruise. I think he gets a lot of praise for his work ethic. He's like really good. And I think Mel, I've enjoyed some of Mel's movies. Didn't ever think he was attractive. In fact, this is the movie I think he's the most attractive. His hair was very normal.
Yeah. It was normal. Yeah, it wasn't the mullet.
He was like a regular guy. And, he had the fairly decent body.
When I was 32, yeah.
Well, he should have a better body if he's going 32. Anyways, no, I joke. Wow. But so I guess what I'm saying is, I know they were both movie stars. And to your point about people used to go to movies because so-and-so was in it. Kurt is a draw for me.
Yeah.
I will watch a movie because Kurt's in it. I will not watch a movie solely because Tom Cruise is in it. In fact, it has the opposite effect for me.
That's fair. You're not the only one. You're not alone in that. You're not alone in that.
Similar with Mel. He not a draw. Like I don't care about Mel. And even before scandals, even before we knew Tom Cruise was a nut job, I was just like, all right, I liked Days of Thunder because I liked Days of Thunder.
No, that's fair. You're not saying anything. It's funny that you're not saying anything controversial or even that crazy. That goes for every actor. Again, you and I are Sly fans.
Yeah, everybody has their.
People can't stand that guy. There's people that can't stand him.
Yeah, I feel like I was like, there was a reason why I was like, no thanks on those two.
I'll say this about it was on the tip of my tongue. It just came back to me. The reason why Mel and Tom, I've seen a lot of their films, is what I meant about their acting. They do pick quality roles in films. That's the thing is they seem to get behind projects and or directors, or they do it themselves. Like Braveheart was Mel's, where they're kind of good at what they do, and so that can be a big draw for people. Like you can't watch Braveheart and say, "Well, this is a crappy film."
Right.
Like it just isn't. It's a good film. It's crazy good. Then you watch like the Lethal Weapons. You can't say, oh, this is a boring buddy comedy action drama. It's actually not. It's very engaging. It's a fun. It's a fun franchise. Like it's just fun. So and then same Tom Cruise with his latest Top Gun Maverick. It made $1 billion+ the bar. People weren't bored. They went to the film. They had fun. But because Tom is a workhorse on the film, and make sure that he goes, we got to make films fun for audiences. That was his only concern. Is this fun for audiences? And it was. So it's weird how these very strong personalities that you're talking about, you're right, there might be an underlining, it's probably part of the reason why they're successful, but it's also could be something very off-putting about it too. It's a conundrum in the art world, I think. They're not alone in this, from Leonardo da Vinci cutting off his ear.
No, that wasn't Leonardo da Vinci.
Who was that? Who was the one that cut off his ear?
Is it Picasso?
Picasso, maybe? I don't know.
Somebody's screaming at us.
Either way, somebody's screaming at me or you.
One of the
We-
painters. It was a paint.
But what I'm getting at is like eccentric personalities is not new to this world.
Van Gogh.
Who are-
It was Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Thank you. There you go. So eccentric personalities are not new to,
Yeah.
to people who are good at what they do.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess like I thought Mel, because I knew I was gonna be, as soon as I realized that Michelle Pfeiffer loved Mac,
Sure.
aka Mel, and not Kurt, a couple things on that. I was like, oh, really? But I guess I could kind of see why. And even though I'm not a fan of Mel and Kurt's way better looking, I was like, I get it. I see why, she feels like his feelings are true and she can't trust Nick's intentions with her and she falls in love with him. I think it's sort of the I can save you thing, because she's like, I trust that you're out of this business now. And he
Yeah,
wasn't, but
Yeah, no, it's interesting that Kurt, to his, I like that he played a little bit against type. He was a bit of more of a dick in this film than Mel was. It was an interesting against
Mhm.
type a little bit, that he was a little bit like, Kurt, you're like, but he's doing his job. So was he lying to Michelle? Was he not lying to Michelle? A bit of both, probably.
bit of
But
both, I
she's-
think, don't
she's
you?
a hot woman. Yeah, she's a hot girl. So at the end of the day, he is using her, and he's also falling for her. So
Yep.
it can be both. I think it was both.
and
And she caught on to that. So she chose, even though Mel might have had a criminal past, at least he never lied to her.
hmm But yeah, it's interesting because even the line, I wrote it down, Kurt says to her, "You're not like me. You're honest, kind, and principled." He says that to Michelle.
Nice.
So in that, I was like, yeah, I think it is a bit of both. I think he does want information, but he also really, really digs her. I wouldn't go so far to say he's in love with her, but their
Right.
sexual chemistry was way better. Their flirtation at the booth in the restaurant,
Mhm.
and then when they start kissing, it was really, it was very believable. I believed that they were into it.
Yeah, I
Was it
think
just me?
he was for her. No. I think, again, you can like more than one person at once for different reasons. So they were
No,
all,
I
that
just
was
mean
the,
for us as the audience,
Oh,
seeing that love scene was better.
yeah, it was a better on-screen chemistry. I agree. Yeah, it wasn't awkward. But so let's talk about the everyman Kurt. I thought he was, great looking, of course. Very, he had his hair slicked back. Apparently, it was patterned after Pat Riley, the basketball coach. Is what
Yeah, because
he's-
he was maybe going to
big.
potentially be in this, right?
was he going to be in it? I didn't catch that part. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I wrote down, let's see, let me find it. Yeah, when the film went into production, the coach of the LA Lakers at the time, Pat Riley, was offered the role of Nick. He turned it down, and then it went to Kurt Russell. And then
Wow.
Russell patterned his look, was influenced by Riley. And then he was quoted as saying that Riley's look was right for this film because he was arrogantly confident, but not offensive.
Interesting. Why would they?
I don't know who
Well,
Pat
but-
Riley is. I'm
Well,
unfamiliar.
he's a basketball coach.
Yeah,
but I
apparently
don't-
I am. I just,
No,
I'm
I know
unfamiliar with him.
exactly who he is. I didn't have to look him up. Like, I know what he is. Like, I knew exactly what he looks
What
like
he
and
looks like.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious why they thought he would be in a film. He still slicks his hair back to this day. He's now 79. But I'm just trying to think, if I'm looking at this, I don't see any acting. Why would they think
I don't know.
he could headline a movie? That's a weird.
I don't
he
know.
was-
I don't know.
He's big in the day. Don't get me wrong. Like, he coached the championship stuff back in the day. Anyways, yeah, he was from 85 to 1990. He was an all-star game head coach.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's got accolades out the yin yang. This guy is,
Pat Riley. All
he's
right.
a 5-time NBA championship coach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like Lakers were like ruling the
yeah.
world at the time.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Magic Johnson and stuff. So anyways, interesting. But yeah, Kurt, what I love about Kurt, he did in this film, there's a couple of parts in the film. I mean, as you know, a huge Tombstone fan. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Kurt Russell, of course, stars in that. And this came out 2 years before Tombstone. And there was a couple moments in this film where he acted like, oh, this is the Wyatt Earp we're about to see. There was just a couple little moments, the way he yelled.
Mm.
Some of the characters, he did the Kurt yell, which I love so much. I love when he gets that angry
Mhm.
Kurt yell. It's just the way he does it. And it was just like, little did audiences know that he was going to perfect that kind of anger and energy on the big screen with Tombstone. It came out with this character, so I don't know if this is just the stage of his career, but I love the Mel yell. Mel yell. The Kurt. I got Mel in the brain. The Kurt yelling that he does is when he yelled at Michelle Pfeiffer in the parking lot. That was a good scene. And then when he threw the coffee on JT Walsh and then yells at him as well. I love it when Kirk gets angry. It's such good acting. There's a part of me that hopefully he never yells at Goldie Hawn this way.
Well, I suppose after so many years, they probably had some
Oh, they
heated-
probably have had a couple of. They've been together for 40 years plus, but I'd assume being a married man myself, they probably had a couple of headers here.
I bet so. But oh my God. I dug the slicked back hair. And again, only certain people can pull that off. Kurt can pull off any hair.
Yeah.
But oh my God. There was a couple of scenes where he's sitting just talking and being really playful and sly. He's talking to Mel's character in the booth and he's just kind of smirking and smiling and just being Kurt, that charm. But I was like, holy shit, you are handsome. Like those eyes just pierce through you. Oh God, he's handsome.
He's a leading man for a reason. He is a leading man for a reason. Yeah, I love Kurt. I've always loved Kurt Russell. And I'm so glad that we can say he has escaped, thank goodness, controversy. Have you heard of anything about him that's controversial?
No, and I have a good feeling about him. Like I have an intuition about things. And
Well, he survived the child career, which is crazy. That's the thing. He's been acting since he was a kid, and he survived the child actor syndrome. I haven't heard of any scandals. He's been with the same woman for 40 years. I haven't heard of any stepping out. I don't know.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he has stepped out, just because that would be
Then maybe
surprising
she
for
has
anybody.
too,
But
and
yeah,
that
sometimes
kind of
married
balances
couples,
that out.
yeah, they maybe have an agreement or something. But
I wouldn't
mean,
even be surprised. They seem like that kind of couple. It's no judgment, but if they're both so good looking, they're kind of like, well, sorry, I slept with my co-star. And he's like, well, so did I.
Yeah.
All right, well,
But I would love it if
knows?
they didn't. Like that would be just like a
But
fairy tale.
I sure
but-
we would have heard loosely.
But you
let's
pay.
sink
I mean, you
ships,
can
like,
when
just
you're
don't hear about
famous,
it.
you can keep things quiet,
Can you?
right?
I feel
You
like
make people sign
everyone-
things. I don't know.
I don't see them doing that. Hey, thanks for schlepping with me. Now sign this, or I'm going to destroy it. Like I don't see them doing that to people. You'd hear something, some sort of rumors or something that
Yeah,
you just don't hear of them.
yeah. I would like to
The-
believe. Let's go with it.
Well, you
Let's go with
can't
it.
believe it. Evidence has shown us that you can believe it. They've been together for 41 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were both married before.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But-
It's one of my favorite things about them that they're not married.
Yeah, it's funny how. Yeah, what does that mean? They've been together. That's why I say they've been together for 41 years.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why, because he was divorced, and maybe he's like, I don't want to get married again. That's probably part
Same
of it.
with her.
Yeah.
I think and if you have money, which they both do,
Oh, here's
a lot of
quote right
times
here.
people get married because they want to have kids. But if you
They had
don't
kids,
have
and they had
kids,
Yeah.
and they did have a son together, but they're both have their own money, there's no reason to get married, really.
No, so in December 20, as late as December 20, 4 years ago, Russell revealed that, I'm sure he said it before, but that he and Goldie never felt the need to marry, stating that, quote, marriage certificate wasn't going to create anything that otherwise we wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fully agree.
They already had it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Love
need
it.
any institution to tell them that they already have what they have. I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love them. I know. That's good. That's good to gush for Kurt, because I think he's great. I've always loved Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
I've
me too.
always loved him. And I'm like you. You can like freely love him without any apologies. That's what it's okay to love a celebrity. Finally, there's a lot of celebrity messes right now. We can go into that. There's just
Mhm.
people right now in
Mhm.
the news are like, oh, it's like hard to be their fans because of all the messes they've been in. But you can freely advertise that you love Kurt Russell, and no one's going to do it. Really, that guy? He's such a what? Good actor.
Same with Patrick. And again,
Yeah.
that's why they're
Sure.
together. Like they're both amazing at what they do. They both
Yeah.
are good
Yeah, you're right.
humans.
Sweethearts. Yeah, Patrick
Yeah.
was a sweetheart. You're
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, rest
Yeah.
in peace. Yeah.
I guess Michelle Pfeiffer didn't get along though with the director Robert
Yeah,
Towne.
I read that too.
And he called her the most difficult actress I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
But apparently he's really a perfectionist, so that might have contributed to this. And she was going through divorce, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that probably haven't been through on myself. You're not a work, Ryan. When I went through my divorce 16 years ago, yeah, of course. Don't judge me based on that
Mm-hmm.
timeline, right? So yeah, who would divorce Michelle Pfeiffer? I mean, she was a screen, like, again, I mean, she's a beautiful woman now.
She's gorgeous.
We just all get
Yeah.
older. Like, the reality
Yeah.
is, you and I, we're all going to get older, blah, blah, blah. One day, we hope to be 80 one day, but we're not going to
Mhm.
look the same when you're 80. When you're 30, that's just the reality of life. But here she is, 30 years old in this film, prime. She looks beautiful, stunning. I love the way she acts. But it's funny how she still never reached the levels of some of her
Mm-mm.
female counterparts, like Nicole Kidman, or even, boy, the name came, even like Susan Sarandon. There's just some other actresses of her time
Mhm.
that she never quite, I would say she's A-list. I think her biggest role was, of course, Batman Returns, but for commercial success. And then she's been in big films, but I feel like for some reason she never reached like the Julia Roberts stratosphere, and I don't
Oh,
know why
no.
that is.
She is A-list, but she's not in the elite of the elite.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, you see her name on the bill, you're like, oh, cool, she's in it.
Yeah.
But people again saw Julia Roberts films because she's Julia Roberts. That she was that type of actress.
Well,
in the-
she
in her-
does. I mean, I will say, I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer has what Julia Roberts has.
So regarding Julia Roberts, I wasn't a big fan of hers, like when I was younger for some reason. I don't know what it was, but as I've gotten older, it's odd. I don't find her, just like how some actors you'll find annoying, like Mel, for example.
Mhm.
For some reason, I never got around, but I've come around to her for some reason. I think she's gotten older. I think she's also anti-plastic surgery, is my understanding, which I appreciate.
That must be why I've always felt a kinship with her.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has some stuff.
Yeah, I
done,
think
but
she,
injectables
I think
and
she
stuff, but maybe.
just recently came out with an interview saying she wants to just age as you're supposed to age. Of
That
course,
makes me love her
yeah.
even more.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I
know?
think again, because the internet's terrible, she's responding to some of the critics like, "Oh, look at Julie Roberts. She looks old." Yeah, I'm 57 or whatever it is now. Whatever the age is, I think she's in her mid 50s.
Raul Julia, I did take note of his singing in this movie. I love him as Gomez Adams, and he sings in that too.
That's right.
And he is a trained singer, Raul.
Yeah, when he was singing on the steps, there was a part of me like that wasn't scripted. Like that was Raul Julia just being himself, or they're like, "Hey, why don't you just sing?" or whatever, because they knew he could sing. They weren't like, "Oh, it just so happens we wrote in the script that your character is going to sing on the stairwell, so isn't that great? You can sing." It's one of those things where the actor brings something to the table that they incorporate into the film. Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned Chinatown and what came of that. Apparently, there was a sequel planned called The Two Jakes for
It was made.
It was made. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the planned sequel to Chinatown. I haven't seen it. It was in 1990. Was it good?
Meh.
Was
I
it?
watched it.
Was it a sequel? Did it
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, it's the
Okay.
same. Well, it's a sequel in the sense that it's the same character. I think I'd have to go back. Craig, our good friend Craig, he's more of I think he would have this answer better than me. I don't know why I think he would know this answer, but it's the same character that Jack played. He plays again, but it's like a different case, it's like saying James Bond, is it a sequel? Well, it happened after, and it's the same character,
Same
but it's a whole
character, okay.
different, it's a different case or whatever. Yeah.
Got it. Well, I was reading that Robert Towne was going through legal issues with that movie and ended up severing his friendship with Jack Nicholson at the
Yeah.
time. They have since reconciled, but
Well, not anymore. Now it doesn't matter.
well, yes.
I'm just joking. Before they're so
before-
Robert Towne came down from heaven and says, "Jack, I forgive you," and then we went back up to heaven. No, yeah, of course, before his passing, yes.
So in the movie Tequila Sunrise, Greg, the cousin, Mac's cousin, as well as Carlos, they each have a speech about friendship in the movie. And apparently this was Towne's way of reflecting his feelings of that betrayal, I guess,
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of stuff.
Did you like how it ended? What do you think
Uh,
about it? The fake death sort of. You knew it wasn't, right?
Well, they wanted to kill Mel's
Yep.
character, and of course, and I get it. The studios are always like, "No, but it's Mel Gibson in his prime. Audiences aren't going to like that." If this film was filmed today with the actors the same stardom of today, let's just say today's films, he would have been dead. I kind of like that about today's films. We're not afraid to kill the hero, and I kind of like that. We're not too sure how. Like, you got TV characters like, what, they killed Ed Stark on Game of Thrones? Like, you can't believe things happen. I like that. So, but back then, audiences, they kind of like, you don't kill Mel Gibson. He'll do that to himself in Braveheart. So, yeah, it was a little bit Hollywood tropey, but whatever. Yes, Curl, you can have her. You're my friend, and you guys look. He's looking over like as an angel, almost like, I've got you, buddy. You don't worry about it.
Yeah, and then
I don't-
that was his way of not having to arrest him.
yeah, it's all tied up. Everything they
Yeah.
get to be together. No one's arrested. He's alive. Hey, happy ending.
hmm And in the water, like he was in the water.
Yeah, they back
Kurt
to the
brings
water.
her- Yeah, yeah.
They
they
like
really-
that.
And actually, when Kurt kisses Michelle Pfeiffer, when Nick kisses Joanne one time in the wine cellar, they're wet too. They really liked a wet
They
love
like-
scene.
Yeah. Well, Michelle likes to be. Michelle is a fan of being wet. What can I say?
In this.
Ho.
All right, some casting what ifs. We already talked about Pat Riley potentially.
Ugh, that's so weird. I don't even
Mhm.
understand that. Thank goodness.
At one point, they wanted real life buddies, Nick Nolte and Jeff Bridges, with
That would've been-
Nolte as the cop.
No,
Bridges
that's
as the
right. That's
director.
right. That's perfect. That's good
Mhm.
casting. That's actually Nick Nolte. He's a funny guy, and he's really kind of. I feel bad. Alcohol is a hell of a
Mhm.
drug.
Mhm.
But in his prime as an actor, he's a good actor. And
Yeah, I always liked him.
Yeah, he's good. And Jeff Bridges, of course. My goodness,
Mhm.
there's another one that you can't say anything bad about Jeff. Just a great guy and a great actor. So that would have been
Mhm.
funny enough.
That would have been good.
That would have been good too. So I would love to have seen that version. I have no issues if that one got made. Yeah.
Same. Alec Baldwin, I guess, was the original choice for Nick Frisia.
Mm-hmm.
And he
That's
auditioned
good casting.
twice, I guess. But
And he already has his hair slicked back
Yeah.
then. So
yeah,
Yeah.
might have been a little too on the nose for Alec Baldwin.
good actor too. Again, now, yeah, issues. It's whatever. Yeah. So, anyways,
Mhm.
good actor, very good actor. Yeah, that would have worked too. You got a lot of strong actors back then who could have done that role because it's not a crazy role where it's like only one person could be the Joker
Mhm.
or something. This is like it's a cop, right? So that Alec would have fit that role. Yeah.
Yeah. Warren Beatty and Scott Glenn were both considered for the lead roles. It didn't say which ones, but
I would.
I've
say
always liked
War-
Scott Glenn.
Scott would have been the cop.
He always plays the cop, doesn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
that's me. Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good actor. Yeah. Go. Oh, of course.
Mhm.
Warren Beatty, good actor. Yeah. Hot take.
Mhm. Hot take.
Hot take. But Scott Glenn's a underrated actor. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I really like him and everything he's in.
Again, I never see a movie
Because he's in it.
He's in it. I gotta go see that new Scott Glenn film. However, ... when he's in a film, boy, what a treat. 'Cause he's great
Mhm.
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one last one, when Robert Towne was reworking the screenplay for Frantic, he was nearly finished with the screenplay for this. And the star of that is Harrison Ford.
Yep.
So Towne was like, ooh, maybe Harrison Ford could be in Tequila Sunrise. And I guess he even agreed to star, but eventually had to drop out due to some personal conflicts.
Sure.
And
I
then
think
they
when
flew
he
to
played-
Australia to meet with Mel.
Oh, okay, interesting. Wait, speaking of Australian Mel, did you catch his accent stuck through quite a bit in this film?
Did it?
Oh yeah, it was like 4 scenes alone where I was like, oh, I heard the Mel. Because I've seen
Mm.
Mad Max so many times. I know his natural voice. So it came through. One time it came through was when he was sitting in the tractor talking to his ex-wife. It came through there loud and clear. It's like, hey Mel, you're American, remember? Anyways, but
I maybe just don't pay attention because I know he's Australian. So if it sound, I would just be, I'd be
Sure.
like, yeah, okay. yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. He could literally be from Australia who moved to America in the film. Like, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't change.
good
It
point.
doesn't. Yeah.
Good point. I feel like we always run out of time. We could just go on and on and on. I love it. 1988, Tequila Sunrise. But it's about time to return to the present day reality. Brian, you were my first guest. You were my last guest. Bookends. Thank you. I feel very
sounds
honored.
ominous. Like
No,
I'm your last.
Just of season 1. You'll be back.
Oh, okay.
You'll be back.
Phew. Okay.
You'll be back. Any final thoughts about Tequila Sunrise or just the season in general of our everyman?
Well, first, I just want to say, Katie, you have done a great job. I just really want to say you have done a really, really amazing job running the show. You're very professional. You got your little calendar invites, which I love. It's great. I just love it, and it comes through with your guests you've had. You have many guests that have come back from other shows, so you're obviously very trusted in our little community of podcasting. And yeah, I just want to say, so that's my answer to your question. Season 1, job well done. It's all because of you. You've done an amazing job. So even when you've had
Thank you.
guests that Like, hey, you don't have to have those people back. No, I'm sorry. I'm just teasing. No, but what I'm saying is you are the key. You are the key. So everyone give a round of applause to Katie. Job well done for your season.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
And then final thoughts on the film. I'm glad I saw the film. It's been on that, it's that film. It's like, I can't believe I haven't seen the Mel Gibson film from the 80s. Like, well, how does that happen, right? So, because I saw all of his films back in the day. But it's done. I've seen it. I'm glad I've seen it. I actually enjoyed it more. Yeah, I should have said that. I actually thought I wasn't going to like the film. I thought it was going to be like the, what's that one that Tom Hanks did with Bruce Willis? Oh, it's like
Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis?
Yes, it's Bonfire Vanities.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Like, I thought it was going to be something like that. Again, I haven't seen that either, or Ishtar, which I have seen. There's some films that people have done, some big names, where they've just bombed, where you're like, oh, there's a reason why. But this film didn't bomb, again, because of the main cast, and they saved the film. I'm glad I saw this film. So I enjoyed it more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a bore, or it was going to be not very good, but it was very good. Again, this just shows you how good an actor can save maybe a subpar script.
I agree. I also enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Didn't really know what I was going to get myself into.
Right.
It was almost 2 hours, and I wasn't like looking at the time. Like, I think, I was entertained for the 2 hours. Agreed. And to your point about when a movie is excellent, there's a reason. This movie was good, but not excellent.
No, not excellent. But if you're anyway a Mel purist or a Kurt purist or both, and you haven't seen this, we behoove you to watch it, and then you can say you've seen it. Yeah.
All right. What are we going to look forward to? You said on Worst of the Best, you're going to do your celebrity deaths and kind of your Google searches of 2024. What else you got coming up on some of your shows?
We did an episode that has yet to be released as well about, what was it about again? Oh, celebrities that got fired from their respective TV shows.
Because of scandals or whatnot?
We got to listen to see why they left.
I like it. Sneak peek.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the next?
I love our year-end wrap-up. The next episode, I don't know yet what the next subject will be. I have yet to record the celebrity death because at the time it's recording, December's not over yet. We have to wait till January 1st because people like Betty White,
last day,
surprise us of that life. We're always hopeful that somebody might just.
That was a big one too. Yeah. What's the next movie for Ed Zwick?
Next. Okay. So at the time it's recording again, because this is how the world of podcasting works. I am editing right now Love and Other Drugs, which I did with the lovely Kaylee. You'll get to meet her. She's a first-time guest co-host on that, and she invited me on her show, which was very sweet of her. So I'm going to be recording with her in February, and you'll get to hear about that on her show there. And then I'm recording in just less than a week at the time it's recorded with Craig. We're doing Pawn Sacrifice. That's the next one. So
a Pawn Sacrifice?
No, Pawn, Pawn. I believe it's about Bobby Fischer, the chess player.
Oh, yes. Okay. Pawn. Ah, interesting. Yeah. Okay, I've not heard of that before.
Yeah, so based on, I guess, at least a true person. Yeah.
Bobby Fischer. Cool. All right, everybody, check out Ryan's shows. I'll have his links in the show notes. Thank you. You know that I'm going to ask you for reviews, everyone. So please, please, please. But also remember, email me, retromadepodcast@gmail.com for thoughts, comments, feedback on this season so that I can incorporate some of that into the bonus episode, wrapping up our Ultimate Everyman with a bow. So I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, be kind, rewind,